Women's basketball, a sport that has grown remarkably in the past several years, including a league that has grown with it. The Women's American Basketball Association, a league of opportunity for anyone with a love for the game. Players who want to continue their playing careers and coaches who want their own team are welcome here. Got a passion for basketball but not on the court? Not a problem. There's affordable ownership for any sports-minded entrepreneur. Visit WABA's website, womensaba.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
WABA, it's our time.
Rob Hill, Director of the Media Department for the WABA.
Yeah,
today,
boy!
I have the head coach of the DC Cyclones. Could you please introduce yourself, sir?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryan Exum.
Okay. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm very good. How you doing today, sir?
I'm great. Let me first thank you for calling in. And
no, I appreciate you calling me.
Okay. And before we get into the Cyclones, let's get into you and let the listeners get a real feel for who you are. So, with that said, I like to always start from the very beginning, and I like to ask all my guests the same question, and that is, when and where did your love for basketball first begin?
So, that's a good question. The love for basketball started for me when I was a child, maybe around like 8 years old in the Bronx, New York. So, I guess everybody knows in New York, basketball is like the number one thing to do because it's just more convenient, especially in province areas and poor areas. All you need is a basketball and a hoop, and you can have fun. So that was how we spend almost every day in New York City, and then playing more and more and more against your friends. You want to get better than them, so you practice. And you start playing in games and tournaments. You want to get better than the next man and the next person. So you keep on practicing and you keep on playing and you keep on watching stuff. You watching Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Patrick Ewing, John Starks, from the New York Knicks. So watching them play and then trying to translate it to your game as a young boy. That's where my love came from, just the competitiveness, just playing basketball against each other and being real competitive.
Okay, and I'm speaking of New York City basketball, because for the record, I was also born and raised in New York. I recently relocated. You play in any programs out there?
Oh, yeah, many. So as for AAU programs, growing up, I rode with the Kids Bay Boys and Girls Club in Castle Hill. That team was a force. The number one teams in the area was always Riverside and Gauchos. And I could say that we was number 3. We was always right behind them in all tournaments. Then after that, playing junior high school basketball, I received a scholarship / sponsorship to St. Raymond's Academy for Boys.
Okay.
In the Bronx.
Okay.
I did a year there. Then transferred to public schools to play in the PSAL, and that's where I finished my career, where I played at Harry S. Truman.
Okay.
From there, another AAU team, I played with the New York City Ravens. After that, I went to college, and I was unfortunate. I had a child young, so I couldn't go away from college. So I stood my whole basketball college career was in New York.
Okay.
I had a great time, mind you.
Okay.
A great time. I played at Hostos Community College. That's you want to continue with the programs.
Okay. You went to Hostos, right in the Bronx. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, how did the transition from basketball to coaching? How did that come about?
So after my fantastic years at Hostos Community College in the Bronx, New York, it was either go away from college, which, it was kind of impossible. I had to stay home and work because like I said, I had a child young. The coaching staff took over at Hostos. They figured they see me as a smart player, very intelligent, as I always was on the court. I picked up stuff quick. I did everything. I did everything correctly, so they asked me to be on the coaching staff at Hostos Community College, where we coached them to a regional conference championship, a regional championship, and then we came up third place in the national tournament. So, and that's where my coaching love started.
So okay. So from there, what was the next journey in terms of coaching?
Actually, coaching stopped for a very long time after that.
Okay.
The love for playing basketball
Resurfaced.
took over.
Okay.
Resurfaced. So my 2 years out of not playing basketball, but to coach, it built up my my urge to compete, because I know I was still able to do it. So I went back to college to finish my last 2 years. I went to York College in Queens, New York.
Okay.
And I had just finished. I finished my career there. Started working, and that's where it stopped. But then it picked up again once I got to DC.
Okay. So now that's the part I really wanted to get to. So now, how do a Bronx boy end up in DC first? Let's talk about that.
Well, since you being from New York, you already know how you have to have like at least 2 to 3 jobs to survive in New York City.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
now the joke is you have to have 2 jobs and a side hustle to survive in New York City. So I received a great opportunity to have a government job down here in Maryland. First stop was Baltimore City, which I had to relocate from there to, because Baltimore City is not my cup of tea. From Baltimore City, I came down to D.C. I still currently live in Maryland, but I work in D.C. now. Okay.
So now, let's connect this job back to basketball. How did the whole situation come up for you to become the head coach of the D.C. Cyclones?
And I'm glad you, so this is how that happened. I play on my department traveling basketball team. And we travel around the nation playing against other departments, other first responders, military teams, and weekend tournaments. There is a women's side of this circuit. However, there's not a lot of teams. So, one day, my ex-coworker, Sade Bryant from Baltimore City, she asked me, like, can I potentially play on my team? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think the coach will allow a female to play on the team. I'm not sure. She said, so why aren't there any female teams? I said, no one started any. She said, can you start one? And then her being a good friend of mine, I said, I'll start. I will put out the interest to see how many, females would like to play basketball on a traveling team. And, I got some feedback, picked up coaching from there. I started coaching in 2016. We was, travel. We stood in D.C. We played against other female teams, and from there, Will, the owner of the D.C. Cyclone, Will Flowers, I guess he saw how I was coaching and how I wasn't just, I was teaching. I was, trying to teach instead of just being a coach. Like, this is how you should do this, and this is better. So he asked me to coach the D.C. Cyclones the first year, but as the first year, I thought I had too much on my plate at the time, so I told him I'm gonna decline. But however, I stood around and I watched, and I came to practices to see how the team was working. Unfortunately, it had I believe a 2-6 season last year, and that's why I said, no, I want to coach this team. I want to coach this team.
So hold on. How did the whole connection come with you and Will Flowers? I mean, did he just approach you during the game, after game? Did you know somebody? How did that connection come about?
So that connection came because Will Flowers is actually very strong and passionate about women's basketball, and so am I. And there's not a lot of people out there no more that really even remotely cares about women's basketball. Sometimes even women basketball players don't even care about women's basketball. You ask them, did y'all watch the WNBA playoffs? They'll tell you no. I watched Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
So it's the passion. So when you see someone who has passion, that you'll attract other people who have passion for the game. And that's Will Flowers. Will Flowers watched me coach my department team in a league Sunday afternoon. And he came here every weekend to either recruit, and then he, talked to me because he was looking for a coach that was going to, take his team and bring his brand up there. He wants to be up there with New Jersey, and I agree. I would like to be up there with them as well. So that's how the connection, I guess it was just the passion for basketball was the number one connection between me and Will Flowers.
Okay, and to be clear to the listeners, when you say New Jersey, you're referring to the Jersey Expression.
Correct, sir.
2017 WABA Champs. Okay.
That is correct.
All right, so let's get into this season. Tell the listeners, what is currently your record?
Currently, we are 4-0 going into our 5th game in Pittsburgh this Saturday.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, you already beat Pittsburgh at home this year. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's get into the team. Tell us about some of your players, because what I've heard about your team is that you're coming with a lot of veteran, smart players. So can you single out a few of your players and tell us their names and what make these individual players unique?
Oh, most definitely. I could start from number one. Ashley Davis. She played at multiple schools. I'm going to name a few. She played at Drexel, from Drexel to Dell State, and I think she finished her career at Bowie State. Ashley Davis is an outstanding scorer. You blink, she would have 30 points. And it's unique. She could shoot. I watched her play against men. They can't stop her jump shot. Her game is very unique. Moving on, my point guard, I got Kaya Gibbs, played at St. Francis. Very smart point guard. And to believe it or not, she'll tell you she's not a point guard. But when you look at her game, you will figure out what do you mean you're not a pure point guard? You show she has the skills of a pure point guard. She's just an outstanding baller. Now, moving on to my veterans. You got Kalika France. Kalika France played at out of high school. She was player of the year, played at the Master. She was Miss Basketball at Maryland. She went to Maryland University, transferred to Purdue, where she had an outstanding career, a few conference championships, NCAA tournament appearances. Kalika France, one of the smartest players on my team, and she still has that passion to today. Amon McFarland played at North Carolina University. She went also right after Kalika. She was Miss Maryland of basketball as well. McDonald's All-American nominee. Both players were actually McDonald's All-American nominees. Amon was Miss Basketball of Maryland as well. Player of the Year of Maryland High School, went right to North Carolina, where she had a 4-year career. NCAA appearances, and that's another piece. To top it off, I'm trying to think who else just stands out. Oh, my number one scorer right now, Tate. I'm gonna say Kay Tate. She played at Dell State. She's been an unstoppable force in the paint. I give her once I get the ball to paint her, it's almost a bucket. So Tate played at Dell State. She's a very smart big. She gives you a screen. She rolls very smooth, and she will finish for you. So, and that tops it off right there. My players right there. Those are my veteran players. And yes, I went with veteran players over youth. I think this league is more about fundamentals. I don't think it's about fast pace, and I think this is going to be a fundamental league, and it's going to show.
So now at 4-0, you're pretty much in the middle of the WABA season. We got 4 more scheduled games. What is your expectations for the rest of the season and your team?
Well, right now, my team, I want them focused. I have them focused and locked in on one thing, and that's to win the championship, the WABA championship. Right now, we have. I believe the New Jersey Expressions. We are in the same division. So that being said, we are in a division with the defending champs. So every game is a statement game. We have them twice. We have a home and away game with them coming up soon. I have to get them prepared, and I'm glad that those are going to be our last 2 games, because now they will see what what we're dealing with and what we have to face come playoffs and championships round.
Oh, okay. And without even seeing them, the jersey expression, and just your team and just knowing what y'all have, what do you think your chances are to be able to dethrone them and being the second champions?
Well, very high. Well, thank God for technology nowadays. I remember coaching back in 2007 where I would have to go to the gym and watch, the team, our opponent's game in person and write my notes down. With the technology nowadays, everybody's game is on YouTube.
Yep.
So I'm doing scouting reports off YouTube, so that saves me time and energy from traveling to watch the games. So, I watched their first game, and, they look great, and then they still adding pieces. So, you come up with game plans that way. Because the only way, you win these games is, it's a game of chess. What other pieces what other places and pieces you need to beat your opponent. So, thank God for technology. I've been scouting New Jersey. I even seen New Jersey play last year. They have a great player. Actually, very cool with me. We chat a few times on Instagram with Fairweather.
Okay.
That's her. Fairweather. She has the AAU team Proof Weather. She's a very good scorer, shooter. And then the other pieces that you pick up. But like I said, thank God for technology. Everybody's games is on YouTube, and you go, see what everybody's working with from there.
Okay. So now, I don't want to be devil advocate to sound like no instigator. I'm just giving you my impression from your answers. It sounds like, or it feels like to me, that you're overlooking, because I'm looking at your schedule right now. So it looks like you're overlooking Steel City, who y'all got on the 25th. You still have another game against the Jewels. You do go out to Jersey and face them on September 1st. But it sounds like you overlooking Steel City and the Maryland, which is right there in your backyard, Jewels.
No.
Okay, correct?
No, they're both very good teams.
Okay.
However, when you see somebody that was on top or that is still currently on top, you look at them. Maryland Jewels is a great team. Pittsburgh is a good team.
Okay.
I'm not downplaying them. Right now, you look at the person on top. It's just like think about boxing. You think they don't look at the ones that's underneath. They're looking at the champion, the one that's on top. So I'm preparing my team for them.
Okay.
Everybody else is, basically collateral damage. I'm preparing my team for the champions.
Gotcha.
And no disrespect to the teams. They're good teams.
Okay.
But I just have to have them focus on the top, the champions at the moment.
Okay. No, I just wanted to clear that up because it felt like you was looking past these teams, not disrespecting them, but just looking past them. Because, like I said, your next game is against Steel City, and from according to schedule, y'all don't play till September. You're up in Jersey, and I'm gonna try my best to get out to Jersey to get a chance to actually meet you. I met Wills Fowlers, but get a chance to actually meet you. So, in closing, this is what I want to know. What can fans expect for those who've never been to a DC Cyclone game? This is a 4-0 team. What can they expect when they come to a DC Cyclone game?
Basically, what they expect is a fast-paced, a well-organized machine. That's what I could tell you. I have my team running like clockwork. Like this is how we're gonna do it, and this is how it's done. The best thing I could say is, if you want to see basketball played correctly and played at its highest level, you'll watch DC Cyclone basketball.
Wow. And in closing, where can someone contact you, Will Flowers, your organization, for just information? Because it's a lot of stuff that could they would need information. They may want to know when and where's the next game. They may want to contact you. They might want to be an intern. But what is the contact numbers or internet sites, social media sites, that they can contact you for information?
Oh, that's no problem. Well, everybody, like I said, social media. You have the DCCyclones.com page. You have of course, the WABA page.com. Instagram, you can follow us at DC Cyclones. Me personally, my Instagram is new DC City. That's my IG. If you want to DM me, send me messages. Like I said, I had a few players do it already, asking me about playing. So, my Instagram is new DC City, and that's my Instagram page. That's the best way to contact us. My cell phone number 347-753-5213. My phone is on 24/7, 365.
Okay, I want to thank you very much for your time, and I want to wish you continued success for the season, and you just done made the season a whole lot more interesting. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Rob. You have a good one. Thank you. See you in New Jersey.
See you in Jersey. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man. Thanks.